Welcome back to Celestial Zodiac. Virgo, welcome to your August 2026 horoscope. August begins quietly for you, but don't mistake quiet for inactivity. This is a month of preparation, reflection, and gradually stepping into a powerful new personal cycle. While the first part of August may have you looking backward, processing unfinished business, or working behind the scenes, everything begins to shift as your birthday season approaches. Leo season activates the more private and introspective area of your chart, encouraging you to slow down and take stock of where you've been. You may feel a stronger need for solitude, rest, or simply some distance from the noise around you. This isn't about withdrawing from life. It's about clearing away distractions so you can hear yourself think. August can also reveal something you've been overlooking. An old pattern, unresolved situation, or goal that no longer fits your future may become increasingly difficult to ignore. Rather than immediately trying to fix everything, give yourself time to understand what these realizations are trying to teach you. Mercury, your ruling planet, makes communication and mental clarity especially important throughout the month. You may find yourself reconsidering plans, having meaningful conversations, or recognizing that a situation requires a different approach. Your analytical abilities are one of your greatest strengths, Virgo, but August reminds you that not every decision needs to be solved through analysis alone. Sometimes your intuition already knows what your mind is still trying to figure out. The full moon places additional emphasis on your daily routines, work environment, responsibilities, and well-being. You may recognize that something about your schedule or workload needs to change. If you've been doing too much, carrying responsibilities that belong to someone else, or allowing work to consume your personal life, this can be an important moment of clarity. Then comes the major shift. When the sun enters Virgo later in August, the energy changes dramatically. Your birthday season begins, bringing renewed confidence, motivation, and a desire to take control of where your life is headed. After several weeks of reflection, you may suddenly feel ready to make decisions you've been postponing. This is your annual reset, a chance to redefine your priorities, set new goals, and decide what you want the next 12 months of your life to represent. The overall lesson for August is preparation before expansion. You don't have to rush the beginning of the month. Clear out what's no longer serving you, finish unfinished business, and give yourself room to think. Because once Virgo season arrives, the question changes from "what do I need to release?" to "what am I ready to create next?" Let's explore what August 2026 has in store for your career, finances, relationships, emotional well-being, personal growth, and the best times to make your biggest moves. Virgo, August may begin more quietly on the professional front, but there's a lot happening beneath the surface. This is a month for evaluating where you are, identifying what isn't working, and preparing yourself for a much stronger push forward once Virgo season begins. During the first half of August, you may find yourself questioning aspects of your career that you've previously accepted without much thought. Are you being compensated fairly? Are your skills being fully utilized? Is your workload reasonable? And perhaps most importantly, is all the effort you're putting into your work actually taking you somewhere you want to go? Virgo is one of the hardest working signs of the zodiac, but August reminds you that working harder isn't always the answer. Sometimes the smarter move is improving the system, setting better boundaries, delegating responsibilities, or redirecting your energy toward opportunities with greater potential. If you're employed, pay attention to what's happening behind the scenes. You may become aware of changes within your workplace, shifting responsibilities, or opportunities that haven't been formally announced yet. Rather than rushing to react, observe carefully and gather information. Your ability to notice details other people overlook could give you an important advantage. If you've been considering changing jobs, the first part of August is excellent for preparation. Update your resume, research employers, strengthen your skills, reconnect with professional contacts, and think carefully about what you want from your next position. You don't necessarily have to make the leap immediately. Use this period to position yourself so you're ready when the right opportunity appears. For Virgos who are self-employed, freelancing, or building a business, August favors improving what already exists. Look at your pricing, workflow, marketing, expenses, and the amount of time you're spending on tasks that aren't producing results. A few practical changes could make your work considerably more profitable without requiring you to work longer hours. The full moon can bring an important realization involving your workload and daily responsibilities. If you've been stretched too thin, covering for other people, or routinely taking on more than your fair share, something may need to change. Being dependable is an asset, Virgo, but it can become a liability when everyone begins assuming you'll automatically pick up the slack. Financially, the first part of August favors caution and organization. Review recurring expenses, subscriptions, debt, savings goals, and any financial obligations you've been avoiding. This isn't necessarily a month for dramatic financial moves. It's about understanding exactly where your money is going so you can make better decisions going forward. Then, as the sun enters Virgo later in August, your professional energy begins to change. Confidence returns. Motivation increases. You may feel much more willing to advocate for yourself, pursue an opportunity, launch something new, or finally act on plans you've been quietly developing. Your birthday season can be particularly useful for setting professional goals for the next 12 months. Instead of simply asking what job you want next, think bigger. What kind of work do you want to be doing? How much do you want to earn? What skills do you want to develop? And what would a healthier relationship with work actually look like? This is also when you should become more visible. Speak up in meetings. Apply for the position. Introduce yourself to someone who could become an important professional contact. Promote your business or expertise. Virgo sometimes assumes that good work will automatically speak for itself, but that's not always how the professional world works. People need to know what you can do. By the end of August, many Virgos will have a clearer understanding of both what they want professionally and what needs to change financially. Your advantage this month isn't rushing ahead of everyone else. It's your ability to prepare better than everyone else. Use the beginning of August to analyze, organize, and strategize. Then, when Virgo season arrives, you'll be ready to move forward with a plan instead of simply hoping things work out. Virgo, August asks you to pay close attention to the relationships and situations that occupy the most space in your mind. You naturally analyze everything: conversations, decisions, people's behavior, and sometimes even things that haven't happened yet. This month, one of your greatest emotional lessons is recognizing the difference between a problem you can actually solve and one you're simply overthinking. Relationships may feel especially reflective during the first part of August. You could find yourself thinking about someone from your past, reconsidering an existing relationship, or recognizing patterns that keep repeating in your connections with others. Instead of immediately asking how you can fix the situation, ask whether it's actually yours to fix. For those in a relationship, August encourages more honest communication about needs, responsibilities, and expectations. Virgo often expresses love by helping, solving problems, remembering details, and taking care of practical things. But if you're always the person organizing, planning, reminding, and holding everything together, resentment can quietly build. Allow your partner to meet you halfway. A healthy relationship shouldn't require one person to manage the entire emotional and practical workload. If you're single, the first part of August may be more about understanding what you want than rushing into something new. You could recognize that certain qualities you've accepted in previous relationships no longer work for you. That's progress. The clearer you become about your standards, the easier it becomes to recognize a genuinely compatible person when they appear. As Virgo season begins later in the month, your confidence and social energy increase. You may feel more comfortable putting yourself out there, meeting new people, or simply allowing others to see more of who you really are. New connections could develop through work, mutual friends, everyday routines, or shared interests. Friendships may also require some reevaluation. Pay attention to who checks in on you without always needing something first. You're naturally helpful, Virgo, but you don't have to earn friendship by constantly being useful. Mentally, August encourages you to quiet the inner critic. Your desire to improve yourself can be incredibly productive, but there's a difference between self-improvement and constantly finding something wrong with yourself. Not every mistake requires analysis, and not every imperfect decision means you made the wrong choice. Give your mind opportunities to rest. Step away from constant problem-solving, limit unnecessary information overload. Spend time outdoors, create something, exercise, journal, or simply allow yourself to do something without needing it to be productive. By the end of August, many Virgos will feel lighter because they've stopped trying to manage everything and everyone around them. The relationships worth keeping won't require perfection from you. And perhaps the most important emotional lesson of August is this: you are allowed to be loved, appreciated, and supported even when you're not doing something for somebody else. Virgo, August encourages you to release what you've outgrown before beginning your next chapter. The quieter energy of Leo season gives you an opportunity to reflect on old habits, unfinished emotional business, and expectations you've been carrying that may no longer belong in your future. One of your biggest personal lessons is accepting that growth doesn't require perfection. You don't need to have every detail figured out before moving forward. Sometimes clarity comes only after you've taken the first step. This month also encourages you to trust your intuition alongside your analytical mind. Your ability to evaluate situations carefully is one of your greatest strengths, but not every answer can be found by thinking harder. Give yourself enough quiet space to notice what you already know instinctively. When Virgo season begins, your energy shifts from reflection to renewal. This is your annual reset, a chance to decide what you want the next 12 months to represent and begin creating habits that support that vision. Your message for August is simple: release what no longer fits, trust what you've learned, and make room for who you're becoming. The first third of August is best used for preparation rather than forcing major changes. Finish unfinished business. Organize your priorities, research opportunities, update professional materials, and give yourself time to think before committing to something new. The middle of the month brings greater awareness around work, routines, and responsibilities. If your schedule has become overwhelming or you're carrying more than your fair share, this is an excellent time to make adjustments and establish healthier boundaries. The final third of August, when Virgo season begins, is your strongest period for personal initiative. This is when you can begin acting on the plans you've been developing. Apply for opportunities, launch projects, set new goals, make important decisions, or simply introduce a new routine that supports the future you want. August begins with reflection and preparation and ends with renewal and action. Don't worry if the month starts slowly, Virgo. Use that time wisely, because once your season arrives, you'll be ready to move forward with much greater confidence and clarity. Virgo, August 2026 is a month of preparation, release, and renewal. The beginning of the month gives you permission to slow down, reflect, and clear away anything that's taking up energy without contributing to the future you're trying to create. Then, as Virgo season begins, the spotlight turns toward you. Your confidence returns, your priorities become clearer, and you'll be ready to take everything you've learned and turn it into meaningful action. Whether you're reconsidering your career, strengthening your finances, setting healthier boundaries in relationships, or deciding what you want your next chapter to look like, remember that you don't need a perfect plan before you begin. Sometimes the most important thing is simply knowing which direction you want to go. Remember, astrology doesn't determine your destiny. It highlights the energies and opportunities surrounding you, but what you choose to do with them is entirely up to you. If you enjoyed this Virgo August 2026 horoscope, please like this video, subscribe to Celestial Zodiac and ring the notification bell for more monthly horoscopes, weekly forecasts, compatibility readings, and astrology insights. Thank you so much for watching. Virgo, enjoy the beginning of your season, trust what you've learned, and step confidently into what's next.